we break right through.
All right, today we're diving into a really interesting organization called Sets Ryu. That's pronounced Sets Ryu. We're going to explore their whole approach to learning, which, get this, mashes up physical movement with professional development in some pretty mind-blowing ways. So, let's get into it.
This right here is the mission statement at the very core of Sets Ryu, and honestly, it explains everything. We live in a world that's all about specialization, right? Everything's in its own little box. Well, they see themselves as the bridge, the ones who connect all those different boxes and ways of thinking. It's a really powerful place to start. And this is their guiding philosophy: sound in body, sound in mind. It's this idea, which is so simple but so deep, that our physical health is totally linked to how sharp we are mentally. This isn't just some nice-sounding slogan. It's actually backed by science about how moving our bodies literally builds new pathways in our brains for learning. This concept, it's the bedrock for everything they do. So here's the game plan for this explainer. We'll kick things off with that core philosophy, then we'll look at the nuts and bolts of how their services are set up. From there, we'll check out their physical ed programs, see how that same logic works in the business world, and then we'll zoom out to their big picture vision for learning. Okay, first up, let's dig a little deeper into this whole sound body, sound mind thing, and what they mean by functional education.
So, Sets Ryu calls themselves Functional Education Specialists. Now, that's not just a fancy title to put on a business card. It points to a super specific focus on learning that is, well, functional. It's practical stuff you can actually use in your life or at work. And it's all about mixing knowledge from different areas instead of keeping them walled off from each other.
And this quote just nails the problem they're trying to solve, you know? As every field gets more and more specialized, we eventually hit a wall. One deep, narrow skill set just isn't enough to solve the big, messy problems we face in the real world. Sets Ryu's whole argument is that the magic happens when you start building bridges between those specializations.
Okay, so that's the philosophy. But how do they actually put it into practice? Well, they've built their entire organization around 3 really simple, easy-to-remember service pillars.
And those pillars are safe, fast, and help. It's a super simple but really effective framework that just neatly organizes everything they offer. So let's see what each of these actually stands for. Let's break this down. Safe is all about sports and street art activities, so things like parkour and self-defense. Fast, that's their fitness and strength pillar, focusing on training that's actually useful in day-to-day life. And finally, help. That's their education and development arm, and it covers everything from creating courses to running professional workshops. You can already see that bridge they're building between the physical and the intellectual, right? All right, let's look at some real, tangible examples of how this all works. We'll start with the high-energy, physical side of things that fall under their safe and fast pillars.
A huge part of what they do is parkour, and it's all about getting from point A to point B, overcoming whatever's in your way as smoothly as you can. What's so cool about this is that it's the perfect metaphor for their whole educational philosophy. It's not just about exercise, it's about problem solving in real time with your body.
But they don't just stop there. They're always innovating, mixing things up to create hybrids like parkour jitsu. This takes the fluid movement of parkour and blends it with practical self-defense. It's about being effective, not just standing still in a dojo, but while you're actually moving through a chaotic environment. It proves that combining skills creates something way more powerful than the sum of its parts.
And their approach to fitness, it follows the exact same logic. This isn't about sitting at a machine and isolating one muscle. No, it's about functional, whole-body movements that you'd actually use in your life. It's about building strength that serves you outside the gym, connecting your physical ability directly to your practical skills.
Okay, let's do a hard pivot now. We've seen the physical side. Let's see how that exact same philosophy of bridging gaps and being functional applies in a totally different world. The world of business, project management, and corporate learning. This is all under their HELP pillar. So check this out. This is from a case study they share. It's a classic story of project failure, right? A new IT system gets forced on people without any real teamwork, and the result? Total chaos. Conflict, frustration, and a massive breakdown between the tech guys and the people who actually have to use the system. It's a perfect example of a knowledge silo creating a real-world disaster. And that leads to the million-dollar question, one that anybody who's ever worked on a team has asked. How do you actually stop this from happening? How do you build that bridge between the experts and the users so that things, actually work?
The answer, according to Sets Ryu, is professional workshop facilitation.
This is a huge service in their help pillar, and it's designed to do one thing: smash those silos and build a bridge for people to actually talk to each other and collaborate effectively.
And the results? They're wow. Just look at these numbers for a second, because they're absolutely staggering. With a pro facilitator, projects get delivered 28% faster. Team collaboration shoots up by a mind-boggling 93%, and development costs drop by 42%. This is hard proof that bridging those gaps isn't just some feel-good idea. It has a massive, measurable impact on the bottom line.
So where does this all lead? Let's zoom out and look at their grand vision. They take all these different pieces, the physical, the mental, the collaborative, and weave them all together into one single, powerful approach to learning and growth.
And what's really key here is that their vision works at every level, from your local neighborhood to the entire globe. On one hand, it's about creating supportive local communities. On the other, it's about working on huge international projects, using this shared language of functional learning to bridge cultural divides. They want to be a partner for everyone, from the local school to the giant multinational.
And that brings us to their core identity. Sets Ryu sees itself as a partner in co-creation. They're not just some vendor you hire, they're a collaborator. They get in the trenches with you to help you build better systems, and that system could be your own body, a school's curriculum, or a massive business project.
So we'll leave it with this question. Sets Ryu is making a really strong case that in our world of hyper-specialization, maybe the biggest breakthroughs don't come from digging deeper into our own little trench. Maybe they come from building strong, functional, effective bridges between them. Could that be where the real future of learning is found?
By experience, we shine so bright.